Well, hello everyone. Got a little bit of a late jump on this today. You've already probably figured it out. We're at LaGuardia where we left off of Virtual American. We're flying a little historical flight here. It's interesting to hear people's accounts of how airlines were acquired. But anyway, we are flying an America West aircraft for U.S. Airways. They actually bought U.S. Airways, who would then go on as U.S. Airways to buy out American. Really a great tale there, especially the America West and U.S. Airways buyout. That, when you look at the unions, was amazing. All right, so like I said, LaGuardia, folks, this is not a long stream. We are flying from LaGuardia to Philadelphia, about 150 miles. I had other ideas, but it was just with what's going on tomorrow, even more is happening. There is definitely no stream for those looking for it on Saturday. Just zero chance. We're going to spend a little bit of time at my granddaughter's birthday party, and then we're going to scoot to the airport to head to Houston for stuff we need to do down there. So very busy day tomorrow. Impossible to pull off a flight. So that's why we're pulling this one, and that's why it is short. So again, it's LaGuardia, or we want to be in our normal slang, La Garbage Can, to Philadelphia. Appropriate pairing, wouldn't you say? Now, the other thing to be ready for, we're only going to climb to 16,000 feet. Folks, it's 150 miles. And the way you get, if we had ATC, we would be, it'd just be an interesting routing. Now, one thing going on here that's got me a little concerned. What ATIS is the traffic here at LaGuardia using? Hang on a second. Okay, looks like we're about to have to switch. Hang on. Okay, I don't know what's going to happen, but something's going to happen here on the network. But everything I'm reading ATIS-wise puts us over on 2-2. So I don't get what's going on here, why we're on runway 4. The good thing is the winds are pretty much calm here. The bad news here is there is a ton of smoke that I guess, I'm not sure X-plane shows or does not show. I don't know. Even you would think the visibility would at least look like fog or something, and I guess they don't pick this up. I don't know, but anyway, a lot of Canadian wildfires that are going on. The smoke is infiltrating the U.S. northeast, basically. Draw a line from like Minneapolis down D.C. and then anything north. So far, we here in St. Louis aren't seeing it. We're just seeing a ton of thunderstorms. But that has nothing to do with the smoke. Chicago, I think, has lower visibilities. The smoke is horrible. Oh, Hawker 125, welcome in. I haven't had a chance to boot up my phone yet. Landing sucked, man. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. I didn't see any change. Okay. So I don't know what really happened. But anyway, we will see what happens. But like I said, if you're flying into St. Louis, um, the smoke hasn't got here yet. Just actually, I haven't looked out the window. I don't even know if the storms are still here or not. So they were pretty intense earlier today, and especially yesterday. I may have made the news, the flooding, but uh, flash flooding occurred. It was giraffes and elephants falling out of the skies. I think I drove over one and one squeaked, so I don't know. All right, so currently the if you're on Twitch, I'll get you the METAR here. Currently, oh, we're back to 10-mile visibility, so atmosphere is kind of moving a little bit, so that's why X-Plane 12's not showing it. So okay, that's cool. Hang on a second here. I'm bringing my phone up only to really help me here in catching things. Ah! Echo, echo, echo.
LaGuardia traffic, United 416, departing runway 4.
Yep.
And United traffic, sorry, LaGuardia traffic, United 20.
Hang on a second. I'm getting a message from our moderator, Hawker, 125. Let me go over and see what he sent me. Well, maybe. Hang on. Whoop, where did I go? Is this O'Hare, Hawker? Nope, I saw 27, so that's why. Anyway, oh, Detroit. I'm sorry you had to visit there. Sorry for those of you from Detroit, couldn't resist. Alrighty, let me just do that real quick, get that going. All right, Detroit, okay, interesting. All right, well, we're gonna get going here. We are set spot 64. Believe it or not, we're about ready to push back. That's why I can kind of drag this out. But interesting pictures out of Detroit, though. There's actually Friday night ops with VATSIM going on. So if you want to see how the weather interacts with your flight sim, Chicago, Detroit's a good pathway to see it. But anyway, our routing is coming your way. Hang on a second. So Twitch, here's the route, pretty simple. Now, if we had ATC, there would be an addendum to it as to which I have no idea what just came up. Back to the activities. Alrighty, hockey. All right. I lost track of where I was, but anyway, we're going to go ahead, get the plane ready to go, finalize it basically, which is basically kick off the luggage loaders and the final caterer. We'll keep the main door open for just a little longer. Oop. You know, that's what I get for hitting pause. And I really would love to know where they're getting that traffic call. Because I've got runway 13 for departure. I think I said it wrong. All right, so you can see everything's there. We do have the APU fired up. Let's get into the cockpit real quick. Let you see how we're set up here. And that allows me to put the position on. I think I hear my phone. There we go. All right, so again, just a quick reminder, Saturday, expect no streams. Very busy day. Like I said, we've got a birthday party to attend with our oldest granddaughter. Then we head to the airport and head to Houston. So very busy day, and unfortunately a busy weekend. So don't expect any other streams than this tonight. Okay, so as you can see, we're set up for night flying. And we're ready for a pushback. So let's just take one last look out there. We just got to kill the chocks, close the main door, and head on out. Now, you can also do everything I was doing with the main plug-in for ToLiss, the ISCS. You can incorporate it to your EFB as well. And we're going to kick the chocks. I know you're supposed to kick the tires and light the fires. I know, but we're getting there. Runway 13 is our departure, 287 at 3. Probably different if I hit compute or reset. And there's our numbers, 122, 122, 127, up 06. And we're ready. I'm going to go ahead and put the tug in front of us.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
Don't ever leave such an open question for me. All right, now I'm going to explain one other thing here. Oh, such tight quarters, and there's a reason they are tight.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
All right, hang on. I'm not even certain this is the way you pushed here.
LaGuardia traffic, 9503, body down runway 4, LaGuardia traffic.
Anyway, U.S. Airways, this was their terminal. When they bought American,
All right. Looks like
they
the doors and
had
hatches
to
are
do
closed, so
some
we're ready to
things
connect.
with the government and give up some things here in New York City for that buyout to go through. Delta, I believe, has half of it, United, half of it. So, welcome to the world of purchasing an existing airline, an airline purchasing another existing airline. And yeah, U.S. Airways, mostly Dash 8 and RJ type aircraft here. Few Airbuses would filter through, 737 types too.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's
but
connected.
for the most
Bypass
part,
pens inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking
regional
brake when you're ready to go.
United,
So,
LaGuardia traffic, 9503, taking off runway 4, traffic.
I'm trying to see. Nothing's here telling why. That is just so bizarre. I guess they don't have NavGraph charts. Be shocked if they had it. And used it. Let's put it the second.
Traffic, American 2326, lined up on runway 04, behind the parking United.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Oh, I was going to say, didn't I pull the chocks? There we go. Oh, I didn't pull the jetway though. Oh well. Better pushback allows you to do that kind of a pushback you saw. Default, we'd have hit the airplane in the other jetway. Actually, I think that was a ground gate. Let's kind of watch it. We can fire up. Oh, we even got to close a door. Although I can't control the ground equipment. At one time, I actually used to have a virtual airline for U.S. Airways and would watch the cameras that the airports had set up in their gate areas, which was actually kind of great. But as you can imagine, in the early 2000s, late 90s, resolutions weren't all that great, nor was performance of the cameras all that great. And very stuttery, very difficult, but I would have loved to have watched how you push one back here. The big one I liked watching was Philadelphia, just because it was just so many aircraft in there and so many different types in their area. But that right there gave you an idea of what better pushback can do.
LaGuardia traffic, American Flight 326, departure runway 04.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
All right, brake set.
And we're disconnecting
All
the
right,
tow.
we're going to
Give me just
kick
a
over
moment.
some engines. So, give me a second.
LaGuardia traffic, Brickyard 54, 45.2. We are 15 miles, ILS runway 22, 4,000.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
All right. Oh, I forgot to turn them fuel pumps on too. All right.
LaGuardia traffic, Brickyard provide 85 on a 7.5 mile final runway 22 LaGuardia.
That'll mess things up for these guys. Oh, wait till I get them. All right, all engines are up and running. Let's do it. All right, so here, there. All right. Okay, well, let's go up here real quick. Okay. And we said up 6. Well, I'm going to help myself.
4525 on a 5-mile final runway 22 LaGuardia 1500.
Okay, got that. Let's do a quick check of our surfaces. Now, you'll notice I do 4, and that's just an old habit. Saitek, now Logitech, but Saitek, which is what these are. You had to recalibrate or set up, you had to run them 4 times on each surface. The only one I'm not doing that to, obviously, is the throttle. And I just incorporated it into my checks here. Okay, so we're ready to go.
LaGuardia traffic record 4525 short final ILS runway 22 LaGuardia.
Pitch trim. Okay, go back up. Let's kill the APU.
American 12.4, taxi to runway 4 via Bravo. LaGuardia traffic.
Yeah, wait till I blow their minds away. They're not gonna like me. Flaps 2. And I think we're ready for taxi. Okay, that's off. Okay, everything looks ready up here. LaGuardia traffic, Cactus 1777, taxi to runway 13 per the current ATIS at LaGuardia. By the way, that's real world ATIS. Hey, gotta go. Use the real stuff.
Traffic, American 12.4, taxi to runway 4 via Bravo.
Okay, we need to do our takeoff check. Looks good, and I'm going to go ahead, turn on predictive wind shear.
LaGuardia traffic, American there, hang tight, we're on Bravo, we're going to get clear. Are you on lane 1 there, or lane 2 short of Echo, or short of Bravo?
To what? I love. Good thing I'm not American.
Short of Bravo. You can continue to taxi out, short for you. Roger, we'll cross in front of you and we'll turn right on Echo or Foxtrot, whichever one you're not on there, for 4525. Roger, continue taxi for you.
Okay, cabin's ready. We're ready. We'll get that timer going. So again, just a quick reminder, no stream tomorrow, Saturday, due to just way too much going on and never gonna have time tomorrow for it. We'll try for the following week. This will be whatever it takes to Philadelphia.
LaGuardia traffic, Delta, direction American 12.4, continue taxi, Bravo, taxi, to correction to runway 4. Traffic. Good stuff, whoever is rocking the old, well, at least I'm picking it up as the old blue US Airways livery, but good stuff.
Thank you much, although it's the old America West, but it'll work. Okay, everything looks good. All right. Real quick. Nope, we're not going to be able to. Let's concentrate on the taxi. I don't want to drop into the Hudson. Or the East River. I think it'd probably be the East River here.
And LaGuardia traffic, American 12.4, lining up on runway 4.
Okay, that gives us time. All right, go to Terra and terrain. All right. Final checks. Transponder set. We'll get the landing lights here. Chronos ready. And American, I forgot your call sign, Cactus 177. We'll hold here for your takeoff.
Roger that. American 12.4, lining up on runway
4. And LaGuardia traffic, Cactus 1777, lining up waiting, 13. Those of you not familiar with LaGuardia, let me get into position here. We'll stop. You're not going to do many rolling takeoffs here. You could, but you better be on your game. You only have 7,000 feet on either runway. Now, yes, that means you could do a rolling takeoff, but it would be better if you had them all spooled up going down the runway, kind of like what the military does. You'll see them sit, rev up to like a 60 to 80%, and then push them to military power, be it afterburner or just full power in the bigger birds. So it's better to do that here than do your rolling takeoff. It ensures a better takeoff. All right. LaGuardia traffic, Cactus 1777 departing runway 13 straight out. Hope those engine sounds are coming through for y'all pretty good. 80 knots. There's 100. V1, and we're rotating. LaGuardia traffic, Cactus 1777, airborne out of your area. And gears up. All right, I think we've grabbed enough sky. We're going to go ahead, go direct. JFK. Now, as I indicated earlier, if we had controllers here, we would be vectored or told a specific departure. I couldn't really see one that matches our route completely, but there's one that might have came through. But by the time we get over JFK, we'll be at 5,000 or better. So even the missed approach traffic is safe. Flaps are up. Yeah, JFK's got quite a bit. I know they actually have ground. So I'd like for LaGuardia to have it. You're only talking about 10 to 15 mile separation here. And that's why they would have, you know, routed us a little differently. The inner marker for one of the runways at JFK. Okay. So like I said, this is a short flight. A little... What's going on there? Is... Oh, okay. I know what that line is now. Okay. When you see that right here, if you want to check it out, it's very simple. Go to plan up here, and you could do this in a Boeing. Set your range for something comfortable, and then either step, or in the case of an Airbus, use the arrows. Move up till you see it. What it is, it's a discontinuity that's out there on our arrival to the approach. And that's what that line is. So that shows you just how far we are going to travel. Welcome aboard, Pratt PT6. Thanks for telling us to dive. We appreciate you. But hey, welcome aboard. All right, and those now, if you don't have NavGraph charts and you want to know the current ATIS at any airport that has the digital ATC, or I'm sorry, digital ATIS in the U.S. and or the U.S. territories. So we're talking like places like Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Anchorage. I think Fairbanks is on it. Don't quote me on that one. And I think that's it. I don't think there's any more. But anyway, Guam might be on it. And of course, all the U.S. airports that are on it. You would be shocked. Airports that you would think were using it aren't. But anyway, you can go in and look at the ATIS. Here's the site. I think I'm going to fool myself. ATIS.info, ATIS.info, and it'll tell you what it is right now. I might do that tomorrow just to get a gee whiz, what is it in Houston? So, you know, when I take that flight, that was unexpected. So, but yeah, that can give you what it is currently in the real world at your location. Or that, you know, if you're at, as long as you're at one of those airports, or use your FMC. Might be able to pull it up there too. So, all right, so we are on our way. Okay, we're in cruise, so we're going to go ahead, kick off the seat belts. All right, there's the equal time point indication, that circle in our route right before the fix white. And checking right now what our top of descent is. Oh, we're close enough. Whoop, 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 one too many. Okay, so currently Philadelphia reporting QNH 30-1. Our landing runway 200. All right, temperature 28. Now I'll explain why I did it that way. Give me a second. 2205. Okay, I put the DH in real quick. That will stop the messaging for interdestination altitude, I think it is, or arrival. But if you put the QNH in and the DH, that stops it. Or MD8, either one you're using, and then fill the rest in. Of course, always double check your transition flight level, just to make sure you're on the right page. All right, now we are 43 miles out. Oh, brakes. Okay. Boy, this one's changed names a lot. All right, I'm kind of shocked. DC has not got a whole. This is like Tampa, like Orlando in Florida. Sometimes you'll contact controllers, sometimes you won't. It seems to me it's always a flip of a coin if they'll take you or not. So, looks like they're not taking us because I haven't been pinged yet. Who knows? They may still yet let us know, contact us. So, and again, these short flights. Now, well, I'm trying to figure out that Southwest Airlines flight several years ago, where the engine blew shortly after takeoff, and they went to Philadelphia, but I want to say they were, because they were at 30,000 feet when it, I believe, when it happened. There was a lot of talk of it here lately again, and oh, I can't remember, but they ended up at Philadelphia, and I'm like, they don't normally get up that high, especially out of New York City. I mean, back when I ran that VA in the very early 2000s, I mean, if you could get above 10,000 feet, you were really doing good with controllers, because, oh, it's such a short flight. Like I said, today's flight is, I'll let you know exactly, 160 miles. Also, back in that day, there were, they weren't airlines, they were, but the aircraft were painted or named a little different. Shuttle flights. U.S. Airways, U.S. Air Shuttle, American, United, you know, name your airline. But they all would put shuttle behind them. And what they did is basically from D.C. to Boston, and all the New York airports, they flew between them. And Doesn't seem profitable to me, but I guess it was. But they no longer do that, and I don't know if there's rules that now prevent that. Plus, you now have that thing called Amtrak running pretty fast below them. May not get there as fast as the jet, but it gets there pretty decent speed now. All right, let's see where we are. Okay, I'm gonna set up for the arrival. Hang on a second. The Gems 4, do we have any altitudes? No. All right, so our initial altitude, 3,000 on the actual approach. And we're going to go ahead, fly full approach, and or full, well, our portion of the star and on the approach. So we're going to fly about 16, 17 mile final. Unless, of course, we get told otherwise. So again, if you're interested in the smoke that's going on right now in the atmosphere out of the Canadian wildfires, Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit, currently not in the New York City area, but earlier today it was. And it's lowering the visibility quite substantially. Philadelphia was in it. I think DC was. So give it a try. Hey, head over to our Discord channel with screenshots if you have any. Real world? Yeah, we'll take them. But more interested in how flight sims are showing it. So, not trying to stir up turf wars, just curious how they're showing, you know. Always interesting. The pictures I've been seeing on the news, a little scary. All right, I'm going to get to CTAF real quick. KPHL, just in case. Okay, and I think we're going to start down. So yeah, just kind of curious to see how the sims are displaying it. All right, and we're going to push this to 1. And we're going to start our managed descent. Now, one thing with Airbus different than most Boeings in the flight sim world, cannot verify either way in the real world. Airbus, you have to command it to descend. All you got to do is push in, pull out on the altitude select, and that'll start your descent. Boeing, now there are a couple of ways to set Boeing up to it, but if you're lazy, I'm not saying real world pilots are, I'm saying flight sim pilots can be, it'll start descending at the top of descent. Okay, so, or you can use the other methods. We're not getting into them because we're not in them. So we are rounding the horn here, headed to, oh crap, I forgot the name of it. Dun, dun, dun. We just crossed Gems, headed to Zimmerman. Oh, Zimmerman maybe. I don't know what they would call it. And I am gonna lay odds that's Philadelphia right there. I could be wrong, but I think that's Philadelphia International. Oh. But yeah, like I said, if you want to post screenshots or real world airport pictures of the smoke, I'd love to see it. But I'm more interested in what the simulators, I don't care which sim, what their portrayals are of it. Always, always, always looking for what they look like. All right, we're at 12,000 feet. Turning to Chapman, then Passau, and then Maycord, and then we'll be working to our airport. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where we're going. Okay, we have IPOP, is that it? Yep, IPDP. I just want to get Philadelphia parking gates. Now, the lights up here, most likely McGuire Air Force Base. That's one of the benefits of flying at night. One of the disadvantages, if you go do outside looks at the plane, you're not going to necessarily see it unless you got the lights cranked up, which in this case, we're working on it. Trying to see here. We're getting into the 250, so we're doing good there. Again, a little, you know, pick your poison, if you will, in aircraft between Airbus and Boeing. Airbus believes in their avionics. Boeing puts more trust in the pilot. Each has their pluses, minuses, but it's amazing what you can do in this plane. This one especially, we are above the ILS, or the glide slope. Okay, that click, click, click says something's not in the managed, normal way of flying this plane. So, here we go, make the turn. There's the airport. Okay, we are on common traffic. Common traffic, Philadelphia area. Cactus 1777 on the localizer for 27 right, about 17-mile final. Excuse me, folks. Oh, those frogs. Nope, they're not going to go there. Okay, let's get on approach. As you can see, 33 minutes to this point. Okay, 3 green cabins ready, and here we go. Okay, I'm still learning some interesting quirks about it. Okay, spoilers armed. All right, we are now... All right, Philadelphia traffic, Cactus 1777, 7 miles. Final, 27 right. And Philadelphia area traffic, Cactus 1777, short final, 27 right.
1000.
All right, plane's mine.
$500. $400. $300.
100 above.
$200.
Minimum.
$100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Retard.
10.
5.
Welcome to Philadelphia. Not bad. And I think we are stable on the approach. All right, Philadelphia traffic, Cactus 177's off the runway, taxiing to park. Oops, didn't turn the landing lights on. Okay, brake set, doors unlocked, radars off. Okay, welcome to, we need the EPU. Take it. Okay, I think I'm trying to get a handle on what happens here. Yeah, that was kind of weird. The jetway wouldn't move, but it waits. Interesting. All right, well, welcome to JFK. Hang on a second. Let me just make sure everything's completed. Okay. All right, I think that wraps it up. Well, folks, that was a really fun flight. I think the only thing I want to do is, you got it. Hang on, I'm gonna work from here. Now, by putting them in open, they just don't, they'll sit there in auto for a certain amount of time after they've come in, and then they'll come out, or the main doors will close. We'll get the catering trucks in. All right, so there's the airplane. Let's take a look here at what the airline got us. Looks like a 55-minute flight. 271 is what it's showing. All right, let's just verify. I'm sure they're not going to like my livery. All right, so looking at this overall, we got a pretty good amount of the bonus points, 540. So really, this is, by the way, one of their focus points or focus cities for the month of July. So hey, that was fun. We'll get another one on the way out if we do one next week. All right, let's bring Saitek in. Let's see what they showed us at. Why haven't they completed the flight? Oh, something new. Okay, cool. So there's our flight, basically. Like now, one of the charts I had would have had the departure pretty much coming right down here. I'm pretty sure they would prefer to swing and then maybe, you know, on to your route. But anyway, hey, it was fun. All right, LaGuardia. Again, there's the route. 262, 1.3 Gs at 125 knots. By the way, that's pretty good to our landing speed. All right, real quick, zoom down here. All right, looks like we went 1,000, 2,000. We'll call it 2,300, 2,300 feet down the runway. Pretty much on the center line. And really, that's, to me, a really good approach. According to American, we were stable, meaning 1,000 feet or 1,000 feet per minute or less, like 3 miles out. What was it? My dad said 150 to 100 feet over the threshold. So we did everything right. So looks like an out. I don't know if this is right or not, but anyway, we're late. I think so. All right, so and there's where we're parked. So what we'll have to do here is either bring it all the way out onto the taxiway, or yeah, we'll have to figure out, see if there's any documentation on how we do the pushbacks in here. All right. Hey, I hope you all enjoyed. Sorry we're not going to be able to get into much. I get up at about 4 o'clock in the morning during the week for work, do some reading in the Bible, and then I'm in a year study of the Bible, a year-long read, and we're doing it chronologically, meaning the books of the Bible are canonized the way they are. But they're not necessarily. For instance, you go through the Kings, 1 Kings, 2 Kings. Well, which of the prophets that come after later on match up? Well, that's what this does. It kind of, you read what king was in power in Israel and who were prophets for them, especially as we get closer to the Babylonian exile. It's pretty interesting, although, as I told an old co-worker of mine today, the prophets I have a hard time with. For some reason, the poetry just plays with my mind. I don't know what I mean. Now, the verse for this flight that we flew, Isaiah, one of the major prophets, by major, he wrote substantially. They actually found the entire scroll written, and I know some of you out there are going to correct me, and I hope you do, some 3,000 years ago. No, that's not right. 25, we'll call it 2,500 to 3,000 years ago. Probably about 500 to 700 years before Christ came to the earth in bodily form. And they found this scroll, and I believe the find was part of the Dead Sea Scrolls, pretty much intact. So they could go through and not have to try to figure out where this chunk missing, what that meant. And it's amazing to see pictures of this scroll unraveled, how long it is. I want to say it's 60 chapters in the Bible. It's just a lot of prophecy came out from Isaiah, which was about 100 to 200 years before Israel, before God just, said almost to the effect, enough's enough, Israel, you're not following what was agreed upon, and I'm very poorly paraphrasing, please. And set up, and the exile occurred. There were covenants established that the Israelis, not Israelis, well, yeah, they were. People of God were just not following the commandments, and so the punishment came, exile for 70 years. That's Isaiah. What a great writings, and like I said, very poor descriptions on my part, very poor. But surely God is my salvation from 12:2 of Isaiah. I will trust and not be afraid. The Lord himself is my strength and my defense. He has become my salvation. Yeah, not doing a great job tonight, so we're not going to get into that verse. But Israel would, at this point, was split. Israel to the north, which was the majority of what God said the promised land was. Then there was Judah, which for the most part followed along, but they also were on a slippery slope. Their kings were, better than Israel's. They were at least following those laws that God laid down, minus a couple of them. And even David broke some pretty heavily, and God was able to still, King David is who many of them look for as the Messiah. Hence, they missed Jesus when he came. So, let me do it this way. Israel fell into sin. Many different reasons as to why. We all fell into sin from Adam and Eve. The very first sin, the eating of the apple. But we still think we're God. We're not. We're human. A little above the angelic beings and way below the level of God. But we are made in God's image, but we still sin. The cost for sin is death. Jesus came, like I said, about 500 to 700 years after Isaiah, for really one purpose only: to save us. To save us. He went on a cross, paid our debt for our sins with his blood. He died on that cross. One thing different than other gods out there, he is still alive. He's in our hearts. He's in our soul. He is the Holy Spirit that fills this clay vessel. Remember, when we die, we go back to dust, dust to dust. And he paid that debt. God raised him from the dead, raised him, resurrected him out of the grave 3 days later. And now God, again, Jesus Christ is alive at the right hand of God the Father. If you trust Jesus, as John 3:16 says, for God so loved the world, he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him will have everlasting life. He took the sting out of death with that resurrection, and we can live on just like Jesus. Now, we can't live like Jesus as humans, but in our new bodies that will come when you accept Jesus Christ, you are accepting Jesus as Lord and Savior. And you will live in eternity in heaven. Promised in the Bible, read the New Testaments from Paul and the apostles. So anyway, I don't want this to be like church, but I also would be remiss if I didn't tell you the good news of Jesus Christ. Because I really don't want you to come up to me in heaven or when when you die and say, why didn't you tell me about this? I really don't want that. Have faith. That's what it's all about. We all have it. Have faith. Jesus Christ is the only way to heaven. Any other way leads to darkness, separation from God, gnashing of teeth, hell, Sheol, however you want to say it, is not a good place. It's total darkness all the time, no light, and no access to God. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend. We'll be back next week. Don't know what day we'll be able to start streaming again, but I hope you all have a great night. And thank you, Hawker, for the moderating tonight. And I hope you all do have a fantastic weekend. Stay hydrated for those of us here where summer is being summer. You know, it's going to be hot. So stay hydrated, watch yourself, watch your neighbors, watch your friends. Be safe. We'll see you on the next stream. God bless.